Eat metal shit, blood that quick like a soldier sucking on a big fat dick in a foxhole cop hole right when the bombs drop. Whiskey Tango Foxtrot cock slot. JC, let's go. Sit down. See, what I'm sick of is the prissy, particular, pretentious, entitled, demanding that's never reconciled. Expanding the reticular, the picture's pretty wild. Perspective perpendicular, vindictive, vicious, foul. I'm wild across America, I don't care who was in France. I gambled once in Canada, but wasn't much a fan. Spent one day in Atlanta, but I don't speak Korean. Legalize weed and you'll find me in Philippines, Japan, and Brazil. Let's chill. Don't hold your inner daughter's body underwater, let her breathe. Clean your teeth, definitely don't be like me. Do better, rate green, keep cheddar, don't spend, just weather this era. Expand after winter's end. No more play pretend time. End zone rhymes, this is scored again time. Yeah. No more play pretend time. End zone rhymes, this is scored again time. Yeah. Defibrillate the party. I just inhaled some distillate and sipped on some Bacardi. The arty party, smarty tardy. So when I say pistol, it ain't pointed at the hardy. Puts the hardy meat inside of me. He cooks, you see. My hits are on the books. My fits get hella looks. My fella's not a crook, but knows I'm bitchy, crooked, and twisty like a brook. Still shook and still shaky. What I take and what I'm making is a book about the baby that grew into me. When you get into me, I get into you. It's what a hook do. You should get the lyric book a look through. If you feel it, you should sing along. Make what I say true. Either way, I'll speak it every day and spin the thank yous and acclaim again. No more play pretend time. End zone rhymes. This is scored again time. Yeah. No more play pretend time. End zone rhymes. This is scored again time. Yeah. KRS-One can come and slap me if you want, but it would probably turn me on, so probably gonna wanna stick to guns. For anyone that think I make a target in my Target shorts and hand-me-downs, I'm chilling just around Northside, Norfolk, Virginia, smoking a dirt weed blunt in my mama garage. It's too late to attempt to maintain a barrage. Had a chance to be boss, traded it for Corsage and a need of a bra. Now I'm a broke bitch. Oops. That's the whole sitch. Now you know this. Trixie Goldie Witch. That's me. Trixie Goldie Witch. You know, it is what it is. Yeah.
That it do be.
Still talking. Listen to the album again. Cool. Fuck you. Here we go, bitch. Eat metal shit, blood die quick. Like a soldier sucking on a big fat dick in a foxhole drop. Right when the bombs drop. Whiskey Tango Foxtrot cock slot. Eat metal shit, blood die quick. Like a soldier sucking on a big fat dick in a foxhole rock hole. Right when the bombs drop. Whiskey Tango Foxtrot cock slot. Bitch. Mustard ho. Yeah. Mayonnaise. All right.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's me, Trixie the Golden Witch, future U.S. president. In just a mere 4 years from now, you won't have to deal with all this bullshit that you're hearing about anymore, because it'll just be about me and how I'm president and how presidential it is to have me as president. Professor Sky Goat says Sarah454. I had him on screen at the start of this video. I was watching Professor Sky's new video review of the new Denzel Curry album, in which he starts off describing the concept of unibrow exactly the way I described it in my video about Kill La Kill and Space Dandy and embracing the unquantifiable and the idea of unifying highbrow and lowbrow art. And Professor Sky said that any ultra artist would do this. And I thought, oh, so you're saying the thing that I do is what an ultra artist does? Okay, let me just go ahead and slide that into my title here. Ultra Artist Trixie 2028. I will be president. You just got to say it a lot of times, you know. I'll do all the things the president does, and that's what a president would do. So I'll do that. Apparently the rap I was just playing goes exactly perfectly over this Soft Girl song instrumental. And if I play them both at the same time, it will go perfectly. Let's see. Let's see how it goes. Yeah, let's hope I can get this timed perfectly. Okay, let's try that real quick.
Eat metal shit, blood that quick like a soldier sucking on a big fat dick in a foxhole cop hole right with the bombs drop whiskey tango foxtrot cock slot JC. Yeah, let's go. See, what I'm sick of is the prissy, particular, pretentious, entitled.
There's definitely a timing with which that can work, but I can't find it easily. I trust you. I believe it works. Hello everybody. This is a Total Request live stream. This is a stream where you can pay me to do basically anything. You know, a minute, a dollar a minute, $1 for 350 words, $1 for, I don't know. I'd buy that for $1. Want me to like look at an artwork or something, or appraise a thing, tell you if I think something is worth a shit or maybe not worth a shit. I got to stay off Twitter because obviously there's going to be pornography and drug use on there, and I can't have that on my Christian stream. Here's me reacting to this Lily Orchard video. Character. Did Lily change? It only comes through the left audio channel though, so that's a little strange. This comment. You ever see somebody who's... I'm going to tell you. I think internet people, especially anime fans, are underexposed to unattractive people. I think if you spend all your time looking at attractive people, you know, because the universe conspires to put attractive people in front of you, by which I mean advertisers want to sell you shit, so they show you attractive people to sell you shit. Attractive people want to sell themselves, so they show you themselves to sell you shit. And it creates this expectation that, like, if you're seeing someone, it's because that person is supposed to be attractive, right? Like, why would I be being asked to look at something that wasn't attractive? And so many people have this mindset that a lot of people who aren't like overwhelmingly attractive won't even show their face. They feel like ashamed. Like, oh, I'm not. Why would I use my face in public when I'm not even beautiful? I think a lot of people are living under that mindset. And I'm like, to me, I know that familiarity is the number one thing that will breed someone's attraction. And I don't mean attraction like necessarily Gary says, haha, that's me for real. It's almost everybody, to be honest. It's very American of a mindset. Actually, it's actually kind of global. Like, Korean people don't let themselves be seen at all if they don't look amazing, you know? But it really is. It's very much a like affected internet. Like, okay, for me, I spend a lot of time outside. The overwhelming majority of people that I see are not attractive. Now, maybe 30% of them are, and it is distracting. I'm way more likely to notice those people. You know, most people who are walking around are not really paying attention. They're just people. But if someone's really attractive, you go, oh, shit. Attractive person. Fuck. Oh, I wish I hadn't noticed that. I didn't need to think about attractive people right now. I'm in the middle of doing shit, you know? It's unwelcome to see attractive people just out in the open. But at the same time, you feel like an appreciation. Like, at least I got to see that. At least I got to see the attractive person. So that's nice. But like, people develop this expectation that like they're always going to be looking at something good. And I know, especially when I was at my most anime obsessed, I really did not want to look at live action faces at all. Like a big part of why my anime videos didn't show my face is that I didn't want to have to look at my face. I didn't want you to have to look at my face. I wanted everybody to get to look at anime, something beautiful, something accessible. I know that showing my face all the time necessarily cuts out a massive contingent of my audience who just doesn't want to have to look at me because I'm not pretty. It would be different if I was a beautiful woman or like this one. This one everybody would love to look at. Very pretty.
What is that about? I ain't complimenting me.
Because I'm talking about how you got a face for being shown to people.
Oh, cool. For that very purpose, I'm not going to show my face on camera for this.
Amazing.
I'm just going to stand here and be like, you ever watch Powerpuff Girls?
Yes.
Miss Bella.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like Miss Bella. That's hilarious. Wait, what did you come in here to say?
Hello.
Hello. Hello. You have fun with whatever you're doing.
You do.
Okay, I've received some donations. Sarah454 says that they sent some $2 on Cash App. So let me go look at that real quick. And I've also received a $12 super chat. I was going to finish that rant before I got to it, but then Bird walked in and I forgot what I was talking about. Okay, we've got $2 here to listen to Gone by Hakushi Hasegawa and Kid Fresino. Okay, I hope this isn't going to get my stream taken down for copyright purposes, but we'll give it a go. If it's only 2 minutes long, it should be fine. By which I mean I will have to edit it out later of the live stream, probably. I don't care. I have to do that all the time anyway. Okay, holy shit. I thought this must be sped up for a second. This is fucking wild. I like it. This is exactly my level of ADHD music. This is the kind of thing I would put on and my mom would go, it sounds like it's skipping. Skip it. My mom cannot handle fentanyl at all. Yeah, this is definitely going on my untreated adult ADHD playlist.
My life is a joke, but I felt like your job. Isn't it lovely for show?
Fuck. Oh, this goes hard as shit. Man, this is a long feeling 2 minutes. Very clipping-esque in that regard. Well, that was fucking nuts, and I liked it. They had some cute animes on one of their videos. Yeah, this is definitely my speed. Thank you for introducing me to Hakushi Hasegawa. Appreciated. All right, the $12 super chat from NotApp says, a couple years ago, anime streamer CDog VA joked that a show with smooth animation must have had a high budget, which offended some people on Twitter/X. My question for you, Trixie, why is the idea that better animation equals higher budget such a sensitive topic? I understand that higher budget doesn't necessarily mean better animation, but doesn't better animation have to mean more animators or animators with more impressive work histories with both cost more than just hiring a couple average animators fresh out of school. Shouldn't better animators lead to better keyframes? More animators lead to more in-betweens and smoother animation, and wouldn't these both mean a higher budget? Well, not Ep. The problem is that all of that logical stuff isn't true. If all of that logical stuff was true, it would be great. Being a good animator means you get to work on good shows, but it doesn't mean that those good shows pay you more. Most animators are total freelancers and they're all working for the same rates. Now, if you're a great animator, it means you'll be able to get more work, but that doesn't mean that you're getting paid more per job you're doing. It means that you're capable of doing more jobs. Now, this requires you to be both fast and good, because some people can draw really well, but it takes them a while. And if you can't meet the deadlines that are required, which are always going to be really short, like there's not like a lot of movies that have the, how do I put it? Also, like budget. So like when you're making an anime, it starts with producers putting together a team. It starts with like people who control money, putting together, it starts with a guy like making a proposition to a company, to the other guys who work at a company, and saying like, hey, I think if you invest this much, you could turn out a profit of this much if you let me hire these people to do this idea, and they go, all right, we're willing to roll the dice on that. That sounds like if you're confident that that's going to work, we'll do that, and then they put together an idea of how they're going to make that money. And then they, establish how much there is to go around. But like, they're not like, oh, this is going to be a big success, so we're going to put more money into it and therefore give a bigger budget to the studio. They just think like, we're going to hire a better studio. But like, they're not going to necessarily, I mean, they might give that, there might be some studios that charge more for their work. Like there might be some studios that are like, if you want us, you're going to have to pay more. And then the people who work for that studio maybe get paid better, have better benefits or something. Usually it's more of like a cultural difference, like the culture of Kyoto Animation or the culture of Ufotable are known for being very animator positive. But like, those also aren't jobs that just anybody can like apply for and get easily, like if you want to work at Kyoto Animation, first of all, you got to live in Kyoto. Second of all, you have to be at that level that they're going to want to hire and train you, and they're really going to invest in you, and they're planning to keep you around forever, So like, and it's not that they pay those people so incredibly well because they're like the greatest animators or whatever. It's more like they only will hire people who are great, and they're going to treat them better. And so those people are more compelled to keep working there and keep being great there and not share their talents elsewhere because they don't feel like they have to, there's work available here at the place they already work. But that's just like not a common experience in the industry. It's mostly people who are taking all the work they can get, and how much work they can get is a combination of how fast are you, how good are you. And again, being good does not mean being fast, but you have to be both. You cannot be just one or the other. So, if you want to have a career doing it, I mean, if you want to make a living wage, you've basically got to be doing animation constantly and be at a level that you can be doing animation constantly. And this kind of applies to all artistic categories, but it's just a matter of like, there needs to be like union decision making of like what the minimum prices are, right? Like if you're not, so the point of unionizing in situations like this, I've been arguing we need like an editors union for YouTube, right? Because if there's somebody who's willing to do the same quality of work for less than a living wage, then it undercuts the ability for anybody to make a living wage doing it. And so with animation, not enough of the audience necessarily cares about the quality of the animation for that to be like a protected aspect of the thing. It's more like something that the animators are doing because they care, and like reputationally they'll be able to grow by doing good animation. But basically what I'm trying to say is nobody's getting paid extra to be great at animation. You might be able to, if you have like other skills related to animation, move up the rank. Like if you are also a good director, you could become an animation director. You'd be getting paid better that way, but you're no longer an animator. There's no way to just be getting paid more as an animator because of how good you are. So when people say like, oh, this show had a higher budget because the animation is better. No, the staff just worked harder or were better. They didn't get paid anymore. They just were better. You know, it could be that they chose to work on this show because they cared about the material, like they felt more passionate about it. It could just be that they were desperately taking up all the work they could, and they worked on every fucking show. You know, like plenty of times a terrible show has a couple of amazing animation cuts because like, yeah, one guy who was really good and needed work happened to do some frames for it. You know, it's kind of like watching Shimoon, and like half the episodes look pretty good and the other half look fucking terrible. And like, I really don't think anybody got paid better or worse. But if they didn't have those good animators in the pocket, they probably wouldn't have gotten the budget to make the show. Like if they couldn't say, well, we know we can do at least this. Like if they didn't have a guy who could draw pictures and show them to the investors and say, this is what it's going to look like and it looks good, you know, they wouldn't be able to get a budget. But that doesn't mean that they can create consistency throughout the show with that budget. You know, it's one part like how much do we receive, but also how is the budget being split? If you hire a bunch of high profile voice actors, you know, like it's rare that it happens, but there are cases where higher, like, you know, the money is spent more in one sector than in the other, but it's usually more about who you have available to you. Like the reason a show like One Punch Man, for instance, had such crazy animation was that the director of it was just connected to all these really amazing animators and, you know, basically convinced them, hey, you should come work on this show because it's going to be really good for your career, you know. And it was true, and it was like, so they, you know, all these people who were working for freelance who didn't even work for Madhouse, like it's not very indicative of Madhouse as a studio to watch One Punch Man, because a lot of the animation, the best animation is from like Studio Bones resident animators who came over to work on this show because, again, they're friends with the director. They know it's a good opportunity. They know it's going to be a worldwide hit. They're not getting paid more to do it. You know, they're just afterwards, they're going to be able to get more work, you know. But it also creates this like rising where like the more good people are just being better than everybody else. It makes the expectations of quality go up without anybody actually getting paid any better. You know, it's just like some people who are just heroically great at their job are keeping the whole industry alive, and none of them are being rewarded extra for it. They're just doing it out of passion. That's why people get annoyed at the budget thing, because it implies that if you were the greatest animator, you'd be making more money than other animators, and that's not the case. There's no rich animator. There's no superstar. There's plenty of rich voice actors. There's no rich animators. So I think that's why people get annoyed by the budget thing. I kind of started this as a complaint. I blew up this complaint because people have been saying it for a long time. People have been equating animation quality to budget. And I saw people complaining about it on Twitter. And so I created this video to tell people, hey, stop doing that. Oh my God, I'm clean shaven, but I'm so fat. Look like a totally different person. This was 9 years ago. And this has 210,000 views. So in the wake of that, a lot more videos came out saying similar things. It kind of became like a thing that were really, I guess it's just because it's something that new anime fans tend to not understand. And so they tend to show up into anime fandom and start saying stuff like this. like, oh, well, I guess the budget must have been really shitty on this episode. And usually it's because they've heard someone else saying it who seems like they know what they're talking about, but they don't. And so the people who do know what they're talking about are like, don't listen to that. Like every time you hear somebody say, oh, the budget must have been gone down, they don't know what they're talking about. They're just making assumptions because they're trying to analyze the show. But the analysis without actually researching into what you're talking about will just spread misinformation. So that's why people get so upset about it. Anyway, that's enough for that rant. Anybody got any more requests for me to rant about here on the Total Request live stream? Ooh, I will rant about whatever you want tonight, baby. You can send me money through Golden Witch Father on Venmo and Cash App, or just super chat that shit right into my chat room, baby. It's hard to tell which of my messages got through. I read all of them, right? Or maybe I read the whole CDawg section. Shouldn't better animators lead to better keyframes? More animators lead to in-betweens. Oh, is this a video that you were requesting me to watch? Or were you just asking for my thoughts on it in general? Oh, you were trying to link a video. Yeah, you can't link videos through YouTube chat, so a lot got eaten by the site. I see. Yeah, you got to either post it on Twitter or in the Discord. I feel like I just gave my whole opinion on the situation, though, so I don't know. I guess I could still watch that video, but I was really trying to give like 12 minutes worth of ranting because I thought you just wanted to rant. But yeah, the Discord or the Twitter are good places to send links to. And of course, the We Watch Anime Discord is just simply linked on the We Watch Anime channel. I've had several times that people signed up for the Patreon and then told me that the link was broken, and I'm like, I don't know what link you're talking. It's not a Patreon thing. I don't have a Patreon Discord. I have had a Patreon Discord in the past, so I assume that somewhere in my rewards on Patreon is a post that I'm just going to have to... In fact, let's do this right now. Let's figure out what the problem is. Where is this broken link that people keep thinking is going to lead them to my Discord? Because it will not. And I don't want people paying me on the basis of trying to get into my Discord that they don't have to pay to get into. Okay. I hate the layout of Patreon so much. It is so confusing to try to find anything. All right, search posts. This should be right. Discord. I'm assuming this is how people are trying to get into my Discord. Okay, so this is an announcement that there is a We Watch Anime Discord. Did this link not work? Oh, it says the invite link will expire in 7 days. Okay, so there was an invite to the current Discord posted at a point, but there's a permanent link on the channel's on the channel's about page. Let's see. I made a Patreon Discord server 2017. Obviously, that one doesn't even have a link. Okay, so the concern must be the link that is broken here that was only for 7 days. All right, so I should probably just update this to have a permanent link so that when people come in through, if anybody who ends up coming here will, just find the fucking thing, because there's really not much of a sense in there not... How do I make it permanent? There we go. Never. Cool. I got these really neat, very beautifully alliterated little battle raps for you. Okay, Sarah454 says, I'm going to do one more song request if that's cool. Hakushi Hasegawa, Somoku live on the first take. Okay. Hero Hey Twitter just tried canceling Dog VA over a joke. That sounds annoying. Okay, I'll check that out. Let me do this song request first, though. Somoku live. Nope, that doesn't seem right. Is this the thing I'm looking for? This looks more correct. Yeah, this looks right. It's like a Japanese version of the Colors show or something.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Not high enough. This part's lovely. Oh, they're on Flying Lotus's record label. Huh. Fucking drums, though. This is exactly the music I am in the mood for right now, so I'm glad this is what you want me to hear. Always exciting when someone in my audience wants me to listen to even freakier music than I would be listening to anyways. Oh, damn. What the fuck? Ah! This is perfect. This is a person playing by themselves? This is not multiple people? Physical pain? No, that was physical elation that I was expressing there. That was fucking awesome. I finally have something to put on next time I do acid with Zen Huxtable. It's a good time. I'm putting this in my Sweeter Trip playlist for stuff to listen to put you in a good mood if you're on acid. Definitely say that would fall into that category. Okay, I need to watch this Hero Hey trying to cancel Sea Dog over a joke video. I don't really know who either of these guys are. I think Sea Dog's the third chair on there we go. The third guy on Trash Taste, right? And Hero Hey is like a dude who makes videos. Yep, definitely a dude who makes videos.
I once saw a
I'm putting this in fast forward since I already kind of talked about it, and I assume this will be boring. So let's go.
mob go after Connor Sea Dog VA on Twitter because he had the
That's a little too fast.
audacity to make a tweet about food. This
There
was
we
months ago. I
go.
forget exactly what was said, but I do remember people getting all upset with him, saying that he was privileged and stuff like that. I didn't cover the situation. It was some shenanigans. But this particular situation is much, much worse than that one. So Connor has issued a statement, which we're going
Is
to read.
this Genshin
First, I just want to
Impact?
give you my perspective on this because a couple days ago, I saw him make this tweet that said, "Wow, is Jeff Bezos funding the season of Demon Slayer? What is their animation budget?" So it's an obvious joke. And the fact that I even need to
What's up?
You know where my meat thermometer is?
No. It's probably in the trunk of the car if I had to bet.
Can I steal you away to help me find it real quick?
Yes. Do you want to guide my live stream while I go do that?
Didn't really want to, but I can.
I could probably do it pretty quickly. They're making me watch this video about I don't know, shit.
Oh wait, I'm not gonna show my face, so hang on. Can you wait real quick? Can you position it so that my head is not in frame? You know where my head is.
Okay, sure.
Okay, I'm gonna slow.
Fuck. I'm sure I can make this work. There we go. Hopefully it doesn't fall.
Can you? I want to raise it just a little bit. No. All right. So hey, it's me, Bird. You've seen my face before. I just think this is a funny bit. Anyway, so Twitter just tried canceling Sea Dog VA over a joke. She's 40 seconds in. So is this fucking Genshin? Wow.
point that out is a testament to how ridiculous the situation is. Because some people took that joke way too seriously. There was some guy on Twitter, allegedly an animator, and he quote retweeted Connor's tweet and said, "Big anime YouTuber with large platform makes misleading tweet about anime production, case number 833. There were a surprising amount of people actually agreeing with the take, including a somewhat well-known account that talks about manga news and gives his opinion on manga. And the same person I've seen previously trying to smear YouTubers for complete nonsensical reasons. So I really wasn't surprised seeing the same person going after Connor over a literal joke that he made. Those are just some examples of what I saw, but there were a lot of people on both sides. Some people like upset with Connor for that tweet, and others saying that people upset are taking it way too seriously, and it's just a joke. And I thought that was the end of it. That was a couple days ago. I hadn't seen anything about this up until today when I got people tagging me to the tweet by Connor, where he says, "This has gone way too far," and posts a link to a tweet longer, which if you're not aware of is something people use to make a longer statement because Twitter really limits the amount of text you can put in a tweet. So we'll take a look at this tweet longer now. Oh, and before we do,
What does
I
that
would just
mean,
like to add
Amy?
this,
Is
like,
Hu Tao
between this
gone?
situation and the recent Mori situation that happened as well. Well,
All right, I'm going to be completely honest with y'all. I have no fucking idea what he's talking about. I don't even know who Sea Dog VA is. It seems like he made an inflammatory tweet. I don't know. Who's Hero Hey? I don't know who that is either. Whatever. I'm going to just talk about Lies of P because I beat it last night. So, Lies of P. I've seen a lot of people on the internet say things like it's harder than Dark Souls, it's harder than Bloodborne, it's a really good Souls game, and I agree, it's a really good Souls game, but it being harder than Dark Souls and Bloodborne, I don't think I necessarily agree with. A lot of people add the it being harder than Dark Souls, and I think specifically Bloodborne thing, because parrying is a lot different in Lies of P than it is in Bloodborne or Dark Souls. It's a lot smaller of a window. It's less forgiving. I'm going to be completely honest with you. So let me explain. In Lies of P, you can guard, but if you don't guard right before an enemy's strike hits you, it's not going to be a perfect block, and you'll take chip damage, which you can regain, very similar to the Bloodborne system of like you take some damage. If you damage an enemy, you can get it back. Now, a lot of people say that Lies of P is harder than these other games because the timing, the parry timing, is a lot smaller. It's a smaller window that you can actually perfectly block and not take any damage, and it's not impossible to learn. But with all that being said, I beat the game entirely without having to use that system until the final boss. And even then, I was doing the thing B has told me works in Sekiro, which is just spamming the parry button. It's Blahaj. Oh my god. Hey, wait. You can fix the camera now.
There you go. Now you're a shark.
It's me, Blahaj. Hang on, I have a funny idea and I want to do it off camera. I just talked about Lies of P for a little bit.
Here's your. Oh my gosh.
Doing a bit.
Y'all are gonna get bitted on by
Oh.
a shark.
It's me, Blahaj. How's it going? I hear that the trans community is a big fan of me, and I just want to say I love trans people. Blahaj, me personally, my face or the shark's face?
The shark. You
are
are
the
shark.
well-
What do you mean?
Well, you see, you're right, actually. I am Blahaj. I'm the real Blahaj. No other Blahaj is as real as I am. And I love the trans community. Shark, 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 shark.
I will put Blahaj in my cabinet when I'm president.
Wow, I can't wait to be in your cabinet, man. Do I have to do this bit to be in your cabinet? Do I have to, like, anytime I have a formal speaking engagement, do I have to be Blahaj?
Well, you can. I mean, you separately can also be in my cabinet.
Oh my God, 2 cabinet positions for me and Blahaj, who are the same person? Wow.
No, you're not. Blahaj is his own entity. Super real.
All right, I gotta stand up because this is making it hard to breathe.
Here you go. It's your phone.
How did that look? Did that look funny?
It looked hilarious.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, Blahaj, can I have your number? I just really like having sharks' numbers. It's not a weird thing. Oh my gosh, Blahaj is
Trying to
on my
make it so
shoulder.
Blahaj can watch over your shoulder.
Blahaj. 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 Okay, I have to finish watching this video. I can't keep being silly with my
Video is
shark.
Not very good.
How do you know? Blahaj will sit over there and wait for the reckoning or whatever.
I almost feel like this is some sort of alternate reality. Like this can't be reality, right? People can't actually be like this. Unfortunately,
Of course
this is
they
reality.
can.
At least I'm pretty sure it is. Anyways, let's get into the statement. Here we go. Connor says, this has gone way too far. First off, I want to say I unequivocally
I can't stand when people take a incredibly normal thing that happens constantly and act like it's a huge shock just because it's stupid. Yeah, most stuff's stupid, man. Sorry to say it. It shouldn't be shocking to you.
condemn any harassment from anyone online. There's absolutely no place for anyone to attack anyone over anything on Twitter. It's really disappointing to see anyone, especially from my audience, attack anyone. And if you think you are in any way helping me, you are not. You do not belong in my audience and you're not welcome. Stop. Please do not engage with anyone from the split longer. Leave it. The situation should have never gotten to what it is, and it's absurd that I'm having to address anything over the following tweet. Wow, is Jeff Bezos funding this season of Demon Slayer? What is their animation budget? Now, from any perspective, this is a joke. I'd recently watched episode 8 of Demon Slayer. It was amazing. The animation had me hyped, so I tweeted out that. Again, it's obviously a joke and no way to interpret it otherwise. Does that make it funny? Accurate? Nope. People from the animation community certainly didn't find it funny and were frustrated that I furthered the joke of budget equals good animation. To my knowledge, as someone who doesn't follow anyone within any animation circles outside of my boys, I genuinely had no idea this would rile them up so much. Now, quick side note.
See, that is the issue, right? Is that like I get in trouble like this all the time. Like well, not anymore because nobody cares about my opinion. But back when people cared about my opinion, if I said some shit like that, the same thing would have happened to me because it shows that I am not plugged in. I don't keep up with discussion of animation on that deeper level. Because anybody who reads Sakuga blog, which if you talk about anime from the perspective of production on the internet, you're reading Sakuga blog, or else there's just not a possible way anybody is taking you seriously, you know, like, or at least it would be obvious that you are. And I'm not even saying that I don't read every post on Sakuga blog. I also don't talk about anime from a production perspective unless I'm talking about a specific show that I did research on, or I'm just talking about like how animation generally works, but it's so case by case and it's really hard to really, you know, like you shouldn't broadly generalize it too much. But like, it's just that like the people who are really plugged into that have been complaining about this for so long that like you couldn't possibly be a part of those circles and not hear about it. So yeah, those people are always going to be upset. Like it basically shows you're not paying attention to them. And people hate when they think they're saying something important and no one is paying attention. It's the worst feeling in the world. You're like, I've been saying this for 10 fucking years and y'all still aren't listening. But it's particularly frustrating because it's something that anime YouTubers, people like me, have been talking about. And by appearances, this CDawg VA person is an anime YouTuber. But it raises the question then of like, well, why haven't they interacted with other anime YouTubers? Why haven't they seen enough anime YouTube to hear people talk about this in this long time it's been happening, you know? So that's where the anger comes from. It's not just that it's not that they're so mad at this one specific issue. It's that literally anybody who is plugged in like the slightest bit more would have known that this would go over badly, you know? And yeah, it's a joke. But like he said, is it a funny joke? No. Is it an accurate joke? No. Well, if it's not funny or accurate, then yeah, people are going to complain. Like nobody wants to hear a bad joke. That you complain about that, you know, you say do better. Try again, back to the drawing board with you.
Since this whole Twit Longer thing has been made, I've seen animators coming to Connor and saying that this wasn't a big deal and the joke was fine. Just FYI. So there are people on that side as well. Anyways, continuing.
Which I also agree. The joke is fine. Nobody should be upset about this. I'm just saying I totally understand why they are. Acting like it's a huge shock that people are upset about this. That's the part I have contention with. It's not that I think that those people are right. I think they're being self-righteous douchebags who care way too much. But I understand where they're coming from.
An animator quote retweeted my tweet in a now deleted tweet that says, big anti-tuber with large platform makes misleading tweet about anime production, case number 833. A few people replied with your standard, it's a joke, but generally nothing out of the ordinary for Twitter discourse. I didn't mind this tweet. Anyone can tweet what they want regarding me. I am open to being educated on topics I am ignorant on, and I'm happy to be better informed. The animator followed up by deactivating their account, which led to this wave of speculation and dogpiling on myself like I haven't had in a while. People in this community who are professionals and some aspiring professionals immediately saw this as an opportunity to harass and dogpile on me and my audience, calling what I did an abuse of power and that I should be held accountable. I'm laughing a little bit here, man. This is just so unbelievable to me. Side note again, obviously. The fact that he makes a joke and people are this upset saying he's abusing his power and stuff like that. Oh my gosh, continuing.
And see, like this is, again, I've been accused of all these things. So I get where it's coming from. And I disagree with these people that it's a big deal. The main thing that bothers me about people having this reaction is when they disempower themselves to be a counter argument. And like, they'll act like so indignant towards the person who made the mistake instead of like embracing of the fact that you get to correct the mistake. Like, you're abusing your power. That's not a good way to convince somebody to join your side, you know? Like, patiently explaining to them, like, being excited at the opportunity to crush this again, you know, would be better. Get yourself invited onto the show to talk about this. Don't get them to retreat from Twitter. You know, don't make somebody lock their Twitter over the fact that, because it's just going to make their audience hate you. It's going to make whoever you're concerned about the misinformation reaching, they are not going to, you know, reconsider when you fuck with their guy that they like. That's not a good tactic.
Connor says, their reason I was spreading disinformation for a joke tweet that in no way would be read seriously. Ironically, this is where disinformation came into play, and people have actively started spreading lies about me. And for some reasons, my friends Joey and Garnt, I will not name who, as they are much smaller accounts than me, and although I don't want them to receive any negative attention that they might not be able to handle, but I deserve the right to defend myself, as this has gone so far that I can't ignore it anymore with people just flat out making stuff up. The majority of these accounts clearly saw this as an opportunity to dogpile and gain brownie points in their inner circles while condemning me.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make another side note here, just kind of give my
Absolutely.
opinion before we continue, because we're only about halfway done. But I know what this is like. I know what it's like to have people spreading just complete misinformation and like trying to circle a mob after you over literal lies, over things that you have not done. And most of the time, I don't call this stuff out because on one hand, it's just the nature of things, especially when you're in this space that's like the public space, so to speak. People are going to make stuff up. If you try to like respond to all of it, if you even try to read all of it, you
Oh yeah, that reminds me. I was on that whole rant earlier about how anime fans have so little exposure to like ugly people or just like anything that's not trying to be like actively beautiful for the sake of attention, that I end up with comments like this. And now partially this is because this person's like, I guess, a recovered junkie or something. But the comment says, "I'm saying this as a friend. Get off the drugs." So when I read this, I was like, uh-oh, what drugs does this person think I'm on? Like, when somebody says the drugs, they don't mean marijuana. They're not talking about you're smoking too much weed. They're like, you're on the drugs. I'm like, okay, what drugs am I on? Look at your nasolabial folds and wrinkles. I assume that's this and this, right? Are these the folds and wrinkles he's talking about? These folds and wrinkles? This stuff? Now I'm all smooth. Look at that. Oh. You can't even tell what those folds and wrinkles were anymore. I'm so smooth. And let me get the forehead smooth too. So smooth. Yeah, wrinkled. Smooth. Anyway. Take care of your health. You're 32, right? Yeah. Do I not look like, do I look older than 32? People usually tell me I look young if I ask people how old. Actually, people usually guess that I'm in my 30s because I have gray hair. Typically, if I ask somebody, how old do you think that I am? They'll say, well, you're probably at least in your 30s because you have a lot of gray hair. Now, I've been going gray since I was 19, but it only started being like enough that you can tell on camera just looking at me recently. Like, you can tell this is gray. You can tell there is gray here. So when people see that, they think, okay, probably in your 30s, you know. But yeah, I don't know. I think I look exactly my age. I think I look really good for 32. When I was growing up, my expectation was that people get to age 30 and then they just give up, and the rest of their life they don't even try to look any good, you know. I feel like for 32 I look pretty spry, you know. Anyway, diet, sleep, and nutrition are the key to nice looking skin, and it's hard to balance with, I assume, my apologies if I'm wrong, drug use. Speaking as a former drug addict, sending my support. So, you know, I've said many times that whatever problem somebody finds with you is always a projection of a problem they have with themselves. It's always funny when they just say so, when they're like, by the way, maybe I'm just projecting. And I'm like, yeah, maybe you are. Like, I don't know. Maybe I look really shitty in this particular clip. Like, I mean, I don't look great on this thumbnail, but it's just like the lighting is really dark because the sun is clearly, you know, hitting me in a way that's really shadowing my face quite a bit. But, you know, I responded, damn, bro, I'm just ugly. Like, what the fuck? Like, I'm not. So then they responded, I bet you I'm way uglier. Well, that's probably from all the drugs. Like, if you think that drugs have made you way uglier than me, why do you think I'm on drugs if I'm not as ugly as you think drugs have made you? It was meant as positive message. Maybe it didn't come off that way to you. Well, no, you said I'm so ugly that it looks like I'm on drugs. How is that a positive message? Hey, you look like shit. Are you on drugs? If so, you should stop. I'm not on drugs. Oh. Oops. Like, what the fuck? But in case you're clean, my apologies. This is the same energy as, oh my God, how many months? I'm just fat. Ooh. Ooh. I responded, I smoke hella weed and I shave every day. Like if my skin looks shitty, it's because I run a razor over it both ways every day. And it's still is very evident that I grow facial hair. There's no hiding it. There's no making it go away. I'm stuck with that. I mean, there is making it go away with a lot of money to travel. But I don't live anywhere near a laser away. Or else I would be able to, because my dad actually paid for that. But then stopped living nearby to one. Yeah, concerned trolling from a stranger who claims to be a friend. How fun. It always is. Concerned trolling from a drug addict who thinks I'm so ugly that I must be addicted to drugs. Thanks. A former drug addict. Whatever. I smoke a lot of weed. I was just like, what drugs? Like, what drugs do you think would make me look this way? Like, because he's assuming that there are drugs. So therefore, I would know what drugs making me look this way. But I'm looking at it like, well, I don't think weed does this to you, anybody. So unless you're saying that I've smoked my face fucked, I don't know what you're talking about. What drugs do this? I don't even look like a bud smoker. I think I look enough. When Bird and I go places, we are typically profiled as stoners, but he also had long hair, so that might change now that he's got short hair. We might not get profiled as stoners as much, but maybe. Anyway. We got to finish that video, right? Yeah.
You might just burn yourself out or go insane. Now, some of these people just want attention and they make stuff up for like the reasons Connor said, they want brownie points or whatever.
All of
but
them.
then others literally want to ruin you. They want to destroy your career, which we're going to get into
For
more, by the way, in this
attention.
situation. Some people did contact Connor's employer trying to get him fired. Spoiler alert. But you got a combination. You got some people that want brownie points. Some people literally want to ruin your career, and some people want both. Some people want the brownie points and they want
This
to ruin your career.
kind
The
of
point I'm
looks
getting
like
at here
Terra
is that, in my
Online.
opinion, at least, if someone makes a false accusation about you in the public space, literally trying to ruin your career, you absolutely have all the rights in the world to respond to them directly. You don't need to leave them anonymous. As a matter of fact, sometimes it's dangerous on your part to leave them anonymous, because if you just respond to an accusation without being specific to who said it, people might assume the wrong thing. So sometimes it is a good idea to respond to something and be like, yeah, I'm responding directly to this person. This is the guy that said it. Here's why it's a lie. And on a side note,
I
even
highly
a smaller
agree with
account,
that.
so to speak, can have an accusation tweet go absolutely viral about somebody. I mean, I've seen many times where someone's account has 100 followers or like less than 1,000 followers, and they accuse somebody of something, and that particular tweet gets like tens of thousands of likes. So just because someone
like
has a small
that dumb
account
shit
doesn't
we
mean that their
made fun
accusation
of
might
on
not carry
the
a lot of weight. And if it's a false accusation,
other video.
well, you can see how that might be an issue. Okay, continuing
sketch
on, he
guy.
says, this was just day 1. Day 2, aka today, started, and I woke up to a strange tweet, now deleted. This animator claimed in DMs they had received harsh messages and then were doxxed and swatted. Obviously, if true, it is horrific, disgusting, and that person should be arrested for vile behavior. I will also do my best to help hold the person responsible accountable, and of course, offer my help to the animator affected in any way possible. This led to
Real quick, because I just thought of this. That one Lucario fan. I'm addressing you specifically directly so I can help you fix a problem. I don't know if you use DaVinci Resolve for editing, but whatever you use should probably have a similar function to this. I'm going to fix your left channel audio problem. I would honestly recommend possibly just like re-editing the ones that have the left channel audio, re-releasing them, just delete the originals and put up ones that have the fixed audio, because it will. I don't know if it's a problem for everybody, but I definitely, wearing headphones, couldn't listen to it. It would be different if it was on a speaker. But I would not be able to listen on headphones to the voice coming through just one side. So Yakuban's response, it's working. Okay. Right here, I've got an audio clip in DaVinci Resolve, right? I know why it happened, Orluna. I'm telling you how to fix it. You don't have to worry. I don't care why it happened. It doesn't matter. It's immaterial to the fact that you need to fix it. Here's how you fix it. Or are you saying that you would have fixed it if you didn't realize it was a problem? Like you're saying you know how to fix it, but you just didn't realize that it was an issue, or would you like instruction on? Because I've made this mistake. My microphone records in mono. And so if I put that mono audio into a stereo style recording, it will interpret that as coming only through the left channel. And so I have to go and clone the left channel into the right channel. So I take it and I make it stereo, and then I embed the left channel into the right channel using this. So if you're saying you would not have possibly made that mistake without, like, if it's only because you noticed it too late. Or Luna, I promise you I read. Okay, I will read them all out loud so you know that I read them. Okay, Trixie, you got to listen to me. I usually don't have this audio issue, Trixie. I said it 5 times. The only reason that the left audio channel happened is because it was recorded on my phone with headphones I have. My phone's coded to only play left side because I'm deaf in right ear. Please, someone get Trixie to actually read my messages. Yes, I understand how you made the mistake. I don't know that you know how to fix it just because you know how you made the mistake. You only sound so desperate due to stream lag. Well, you have to consider that as well. You must consider, where am I in the stream? Communicating through a person chatting to a person who's talking to a live stream is difficult. I'll tell you. It's not the easiest task to task yourself with.
To further backlash against myself, please keep in mind, during this whole time, I was either working, streaming, or sleeping. All I had done was a tweet praising the Demon Slayer animation. This led to comments from this community to get even more vile against me, some even suggesting that if Trash Taste was killed, the anime community would be better for it, as well as emailing my employer trying to get them to fire me, again, over this Demon Slayer tweet. So why? Why are these people accusing me of something that I so blatantly didn't do? Is comical. They denounced dogpiling, but dogpile on me for a Demon Slayer tweet. Okay, side note again, because man, I see that sort of thing happen all the time on Twitter. Someone will falsely accuse somebody of something. That person then responds to the false accusation. And then guess what? The person who did this to begin with, the person smearing them.
Or Luna, I'm not concerned about your future professional videos. I'm concerned about if you right now take that stream highlight video that you posted, you open it up in your editing bay, you make it so that the audio comes through both channels, and then you re-upload that video, it has way larger odds of getting more views than it currently does. Right now, if people listen to it and it's got left channel audio and they're bothered by it, they're not going to share it with anybody. They're not going to give it to their friends because their friends will also be bothered by the left channel audio. However, if there is a version of it that has both channel audio, that version of it could be successful. Now, it's not to say that the left channel audio version couldn't be. It just has less odds. It has worse odds, like than it would be if it was re-uploaded, or if anytime you identify this problem that like if you upload something and everybody says, hey, it's through the left audio channel, you're gonna have to re-upload it, because they're essentially telling you, like, if somebody says, hey, this is only through left audio channel, what they're really saying is, I did not watch this video because it is only coming through the left audio channel and I'm not going to watch it. Like, that's the behind coded part, is I'm not going to watch this. It's only coming through the left channel, Some people will watch it anyways, and some people won't notice because they're playing it out of a laptop and they've got their speakers on all the way up, and it just, it's not obvious. But if you're watching on headphones, and I do think more people listen to YouTube on headphones than any other way of doing it. Like, you always should check your mix for headphones on YouTube, just because there's plenty of times where, like, this is a trouble for me because I like listening to speakers. I don't usually listen to headphones unless I'm doing a live show, but like, everything quieter comes through louder in headphones because it's not competing with the audio of your environment. So like, if I mix for what will sound just perfectly right through headphones, the music in the background of a video, for instance, will be too quiet from a computer speaker. You just won't be able to hear it at all. Whereas if I make it just slightly too loud in headphones, the fact that it's like from a different part of the speaker from my voice makes it a little bit easier to parse. Whereas all of it coming through the computer speaker, like it has to be loud enough to be audible, but if it's any louder than that, it's going to sound like chaos because you can't tell my webcam's wobbling because I don't stop shaking my leg and it's shaking the whole room. But yeah, I understand why you would default to all you have your stuff output from one ear if you're deaf in one ear. But that makes it easier to expect also to just clone that audio channel. Again, I deal with this all the time because I record everything in mono. So if it's just audio you're fixing, I mean, if like I said in DaVinci Resolve, if you're doing it with video, you would just dump in a clip, right click the audio, and then click what did I click? You could also do this in Audacity if it's just audio with no video. This is just an audio track in here, but if there was video, the video would be up here. It's, it doesn't make a difference to how the audio appears. But you would go to clip attributes, audio, format it to stereo, and then embed the left channel, channel 1, into the right channel so that they are the same audio. Otherwise, it would be coming just through the left. And then in Audacity, so I recorded this mono, but if I wanted to make this stereo, I could clone it. Well, actually, I think I can just make it stereos. Yeah, format. No, how do I? Maybe I do need 2 of them, and then I can make them a stereo together. Make stereo track. There we go. I combined them. So in that case, if let's say before I did that, this audio had only been coming through the left channel, then when I clone it, I would just pan it all the way to the right and then make the stereo track so that one's, we'll assume it was already left panned. I wouldn't have actually had to pan it left. But if there was one that was purely left panned, I could just pan it all the way right, clone it, and then make that a stereo track. And it would be stereo. We've done it. We've stereoized all audio forever for everyone, regardless of disability. Just one of the many things that I, as President of the United States, am doing to better culture and the country.
The person in the wrong will play victim and claim that they are being harassed. Back to Connor, he says, well, a lot of the members from this community have, for some reason, a long-running grudge against myself and my Trash Taste co-host. It's obvious by how quickly the conversation went about accusing my viewers and the Trash Taste viewers for being toxic, when it's obvious by looking at the discourse surrounding all of this that there are near 0 people actually arguing in favor of me. This community demanded I apologize for something that might not even be tied to me. The animator did not even confirm or provide receipts who it was in the DMs harassing and targeting them, yet the community jumped at the chance to blame me. If you are on Twitter and pick fights and get one, don't be surprised. This has nothing to do with me. Had I retweeted support against you? Had I liked any of these posts defending me? Had I sent my viewers their way? Nope, I stayed out of it. I also have a feeling that the animator will deactivate again after this post. I'm sorry, but I do have the right to defend myself, and I beg them not to interact with you. I want nothing but the best for you. No one deserves mental anguish over a Demon Slayer tweet. Ultimately, I feel like a part of this community will take any opportunity to try and ruin my name and career, and I feel sad and disappointed. I know I'm not everyone's cup of tea. I know I can get things wrong. I know I'm not the most eloquent, but I am never hostile towards anyone, and I'm always willing to learn and improve myself. That being said, I don't hate anyone involved, and I don't hold anything against anyone who was involved in this drama. So stop. This stupid drama has gone far enough. Stop. Now let's go back to watching Demon Slayer. I just want this community to be fun and inclusive.
I understand feeling. I understand everybody in this conflict because I've been on all sides of it. I feel like metaphorically speaking, you can't tell people stop. The types of people who are fucking with you are people with defiance disorders. Like, they're people who literally, when you tell them to stop something, feel like now they have to continue because they can't let you have had that victory over them. And I know you might think it's irrational and not a good way to be. That doesn't change the way it is. You telling these people to stop is not going to make them stop. You have to make them want to stop. My technique is bully them. Make them feel like a fool in a public forum. usually they'll fuck off at some point unless they really don't care about being made a fool. In which case, why do you care about the opinion of somebody who doesn't care if they're hated by everyone else in the community? And this is why you also need to pay attention to who's talking shit about you. When you generalize and you make it, oh, all these people are being mean to me, you're not looking at, well, some of them are probably serious and some of them are probably latching on to be assholes. And the ones who are being serious, you should be listening to and apologizing to. And the ones who aren't being serious, you should be ignoring. But if you let them all become one group of people, you're just going to feel like everyone's against you all the time, because there's an aspect of the community that's always shitting on you, but it's like some of them are just shitting on everybody. Some of them are just shit, some of them are shitting on you because you're consistently wrong, and you have to be able to parse the difference.
As it can be. So let's try to support each other for once. So I think Connor has handled this pretty well. And the animator has also issued an apology, which I will show you in a moment. But I would just like to...
That's why I say was because I haven't seen him in a few years. Not that I'm not friends with Econ anymore. I am. I haven't seen him in a long time. But like, my friendship with Econ is a lot based on, he's somebody who would criticize me. And I didn't always think that he was necessarily correct in the words he chose with this criticism. But he was always coming from a place of like somebody who was being very serious, like who really feels strongly about the opinions they have, and like they want me to be right because they want their opinions to be spread, and so they want me to be agreeing with them so that I'll be spreading those opinions. And I have the option of whether I want to agree with him or not about his criticisms, but I know they're coming from a real place, and that if I do address some of those criticisms, I might gain an audience in people like him who were bothered by this thing I was doing wrong, or at the very least get them off my fucking back about that thing, but again, there are some people who are just out to fuck with you. Like there's a guy on Twitter, he's called the Cinnamon Snob, and he's just like gonna respond to anything because he's not a person. He doesn't have like his own tweets. He only has replies. He's not there to be someone. He's there to be opposition. He's there to be angry at people on Twitter. You can like point out to other people that this person's a piece of shit. They don't care. They don't have to deal with that person being a piece of shit unless they interact with them. And usually they're not going to interact with that person for as long as they like. That person's going to keep coming back to anybody who will give them attention for as long as those people will give them attention. That's all they're out for. They're just out to fuck with people, to get a laugh on lunch break. They don't care what it means socially. You have to know the difference between those people and like people who have an identity and who are like care about their opinions and are like, no, but you're wrong though. And it fucks with my shit. It fucks with the thing I've got going on doesn't work if people I can't gain new followers who understand what I'm talking about if they're all misunderstanding because of you. That I said understand too many times.
Say something here before we continue on. And that's that. I'm actually not all that familiar with Connor's work and or Trash Taste's work, so don't think I'm just blindly white knighting for them here. I do think Connor is in the right because that seems to be the reasonable person's perspective, in my opinion, in this situation. And it's nothing against Connor or Trash Taste. I just don't get a chance to watch too many YouTube videos, especially long.
Yeah, but you can't see being reasonable is how you get to be like a rich and famous YouTuber, but it's not how you communicate with your audience. You personally in your life need to be reasonable, but you don't interact with people as though they are reasonable because otherwise they would be where you are. You have to meet the unreasonability where it is.
Long form content like Trash Taste podcast and stuff because I'm busy making my own videos every day. Anyways, here's the animator's apology tweet. It says, and also I apologize for drama. Is
it harder when the haters are convincing your audience that you did something wrong? I just think in this case, he kind of did something like he didn't do something wrong on the level they're accusing him of. The problem is like, this is the right thing to say. Like, I apologize for drama. Like, hey, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cause any drama with this. I've now read article about how animation works, and I won't make this kind of joke again. That's it. That's all he needed to say. He didn't need to get all emotional and weepy about it. He should have apologized that day. But probably he didn't think he was wrong. He probably thought, well, these people are unreasonable. These people are being crazy. So, so I feel self-justified. And it's like, yeah, but again, you have to parse the difference. Some people, yes, are being they're just jumping on a chance to fuck with you. Some people, though, are legitimately mad, and like those are the people you should just be apologizing to. The other people, you should just ignore them. Don't let them because it feels like when you respond like this, where you do get really emotional, that's how they know they can bully you. Like, it shows that, oh, if I make fun of this person enough, they're going to give me emotional responses. And you can be like me, where you're like, yeah, I'm going to give the emotional responses. It's good television. I'm not trying to create a reputation of me being an unemotional person or like a reasonable, as Hirohei says, person. Reasonable is not my brand, but like, I think the very reasonable thing to do would have been to immediately apologize and not say anything else about it,
I was in a pretty bad mood that day, so my response to the budget tweet was not very respectful.
But being in a bad mood, nobody's that reasonable. Nobody's reasonable 24/7. I get it.
I still stand by the.
I just think I understand everybody in this. I don't think that he did anything wrong. Just to be clear, I don't think he did anything wrong. I think everybody reacting to this negatively is a massive dork in a bad way. I just understand how he could have handled the situation in a way that would have benefited himself more,
fact that it's incorrect, and if it's being told as a joke, it's a pretty nonsensical joke to make, but nonetheless, sorry. And I think the point of the joke was that it was exaggerated. It was sarcasm. Like, obviously, animators are not.
You can't do that with the autistic anime fandom, though.
It seems
You
really
can't
silly
make
for people to get all heated about this joke that Connor made. I just personally interpreted Connor's joke as him complimenting the anime, complimenting the animators, the animation, because he's really enjoying the show. He's impressed. But yeah, that's really the situation. There's a little bit more to it here and there. Like, the animator said a bit more stuff, but I don't want to go through all the tweets. So I'm just gonna leave it there. That's the gist of it. Thank you for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed this segment.
Another part of this, though, is knowing your audience, right? What surprises me the most about this is how much attention he gave to it. And I understand that it can feel intense when you get like a lot of messages at once, but usually it's outside your audience. Like, it's not people who care about you turning on you. It's people who are out for blood, and you're the latest thing in their sights. Like, people who are out on the Bloodborne hunt every night, like when Barack Obama came after me on Twitter that time, it was like hundreds of accounts I've never seen before attacking me. And after a day or two, there was nothing anymore. None of my fans cared. Nobody really even saw it happening except for me and the people around me. I used it as an opportunity to go on the Dick Show, and eventually got my revenge by getting that guy to drop his appearance at Crunchyroll Expo, which probably fucked up his schedule worse than anything he ever did to me. So that was pretty funny revenge from my perspective. But that to me, it's just like, yeah, whatever. That's just a thing that happens. Like, sometimes a roving band of psychopaths decides that you're lunch, but like, they can't actually eat you, like you're still alive afterwards. It's just a thing that passes in the night, and then it's over, and you go, wow, that was weird. What a bunch of fucking psychopaths. What are they doing? Running around acting like they just literally murdered me with words, and then they don't even care the next day because they actually feel like they killed you, But like, they won't even remember you enough that like 10 years from now, they couldn't just end up being your fan anyways. Like, they're just in that group. That's just what they're about. That's what their life is being an attack mob, And so with these people who are attacking Seadog, I highly doubt any of them were his fans. And I highly doubt that any of his fans gave a fuck about this at all until he tweeted about them. And I'm sure that all of the response was support. I'm sure he got hundreds of people telling him how it's bullshit, that he has to deal with this. That I get that. I'm not nearly as famous as he is. And if I put up a tweet that's like, look at what this person said about me in my YouTube comments, I'm going to get like 10 back pats of people maybe who I've never even spoken to being like, wow, it really is crazy. Like how upset people get at you. And I'm like, I know, it's hilarious. You know, I've made lots of friends. I've maintained connections over making fun of dumb shit people say about us on the internet, you know, like to creators who don't get as emotional about it. We take it as like a funny, like we have like trading cards of trolls almost, you know, like we come around, oh, have you seen this dude? You know, we'll like talk about our trolls and shit. Cause usually they're interesting, weird fucking people who, you know, would be lolcows if they were willing to put enough of themselves out there. But yeah, don't confuse haters who aren't even in your audience with your fans. Thank you, Nadapp, for just putting that simply for me. But yeah, that's I think Sea-Dog, I understand he was probably everything about the way he reacted says he was in an emotional place anyways. This wasn't him getting like 0 to 10 because people were talking shit about him online. He was going through something. Like almost certainly his personal life was kind of like he was upset. He was not having a good day. And then on top of that, you know, maybe he was having family problems or relationship problems or money problems, any normal thing that normal people deal with. And then on top of that, having to deal with the weird internet shit. I get why that put him. That sounded like a guy who was like at the end of his rope that week. He was like, I can't deal with anymore. Stop, please stop. I need to process what's happening in my personal life. I can't deal with this internet shit right now. That's the read I got on that. So I don't think he was putting a ton of thought into it. I think he just got really emotional because of all this internet shit. But my message to people like him is if you don't live on the internet, don't let people who live on the internet have any effect on your life. Because people who treat the internet like it is the same place as reality, like it has consequences in reality, they don't run cancel mobs because they know that like when you do that to somebody, it means that you are now persona non grata and like attack on sight and like generally vermin. You know, like if somebody, I've had multiple times where somebody who talks shit about me online was at the same convention I was at. And I found them and I recognized them and I just simply glared at them and they just simply avoided me, said nothing, pretended I wasn't there. I've been at the same panels where there's only 10 people at the panel with motherfuckers I was beefing with online and they won't look at me because most of them are huge fucking pussies and they would have no effect on you in real life. And the funniest thing is when you're at the con surrounded by people who like you, having a good time, and you can see them over there standing against the wall on their phone, talking about how shitty you are to their friends somewhere else in the world while you are right there having a good time. That is an amazing feeling, I must say. More creators need to embrace knowing who their enemies are and enjoying watching them be dumb little bastards in real life, you know? All right, that's all for that video. That was a pretty fun one to react to. I had a lot more to say than I expected, considering I had already ranted about it beforehand. Counterpoint to what? Oh, is this Kamala being hot? Is that really Kamala Harris? If so, then she actually looks hot. If that's Kamala Harris, she might actually be hot. All right, Kamala Harris is allowed to be president because she's hot. I declare it. She's allowed to be president. I'm not going to vote because I don't do that. Voting is... Actually, voting for Kamala Harris might not be racist because she's not white. Oh my God, my platform. My voting is racist platform is falling apart. I might have to switch to the voting is rape platform as proposed by Riley. No, Kamala Harris is allowed to be president. You know what? You're allowed to vote this time. I don't care. I'm not going to be upset. I'm not even going to be mad at people who beg me to vote while I don't do it. I'll just, you know, do the Rorschach thing, look down and whisper no. but I have no problem with people voting for a non-white as the president. Because fuck Whitey. You know, take him down another peg. She's also a lady. That's kind of cool. Lady president's not a bad. What is going on here? This is a very strange character, this lady. I haven't really figured out her deal yet. I would show you her Twitter, but she's got a lot of nudes on there, so I'm not going to do that. But light-skinned trans sigma conservative is a hell of an identity to be throwing around for yourself. Gary, always, I agree with you. H. John Benjamin would be a great president. I don't know if he's interested. You know, as you all know, when I'm elected president, I will be president. I don't know if that's true for everybody. I don't know how many people are going to be president once they're elected, but I'll do it. I will be president as soon as you elect me. I mean, as soon as I'm inaugurated, after you elect me, 4 years from now. That's blahage time. Well, I'm a big shark. Well, I guess by shark standards, I'm actually pretty small, but by plushies of a shark standard, I am quite a large shark. I come from Sweden. My name is Blahaj. Hello, I'm waving at all of you with my little fins of my shark. Let us go for a large swim. Wow, he's swimming. Swag Jackson, feel free to send me any beats you got. I don't know what kind of beats you make. If you got any super ADHD hyphy shit, though, I really need a beat that sounds like this one Dashy song. So I got this super fast rap on my album. And I tweeted about this. That's why I'm on Twitter. Schnufflecore. Yeah, I need some shit that sounds like this. I mean, feel free to send me anything, but really, it didn't come up in a search. Am I spelling it wrong? It's with an E-L, not an L-E. There we go. I need some shit like this. I'll demonstrate for you what I want to rap over something that sounds like this. Hold on. Let me find it. Yeah.
You better believe that I gotta get a reasonable with the heights that I try to reach. And you better believe that I got an infeasible might with the right to my free speech. And you better believe when I hit top speed, you're gonna be wondering where I went. And you better believe in a crop top on a beach, strong bet probably where I'm spent. And you better believe that I live rent free in the heads of so many of my enemies. And you better believe that I'm in with a big cheese, begging, oh please, that I come murder my beats. Proof my freaking sales highly, smiling down for the watchtower, whispering oh, wilding out for the raw tower, missing a note, widely recountable drop. Yeah, I don't know. I'm at the wrong part of the song to be doing those beats, but some shit like that. You better believe that I'm gonna get a reasonable with the heights that I try to reach. You better believe that I got an infeasible might with the right to my free speech. And you better believe when I hit top speed, you're gonna be wondering where I went. And you better believe in a crop top on a beach, strong bet probably where I spent. I like that hook. Anyway. I want to make breakcore hyperpop shit like this. I'm just getting started using Amen breaks. Need more sample packs. Everybody needs more sample packs. I want to get into manipulating waveforms. I want to learn how you do that shit. I just want to build my own waveforms. I feel like I've always been trapped in thinking I have to like find somehow the sound that I'm looking for. And I never considered that I could literally just like create it through just like knowing how to make it sound that way, like how to just make a sound appear through like manipulation of waveform. Because ultimately it's all just waveforms, you know? So like if you can figure out how to replicate the way something sounds through the manipulation of the waveform. That's what Sophie did and Tipper does. I would absolutely believe that's what Sophie did because sure, her fucking music has such particular sounds, you know, which is what I want. Like if I as a producer, what I get frustrated with is I feel like it's not that hard to create a good arrangement. It's really hard to create a good arrangement that also sounds good, you know? Like it's one thing to come up with some melodies that intertwine well together. And like, I can do a lot with my voice. So like, I'm pretty good at listening back to myself, singing something over myself, and those two things harmonize or don't harmonize, but in a deliberate way that I like, you know, like, but when it comes to doing it with sounds, it's like I'm so limited by what exists in the program, you know, like what has already been made, or what can I find? What do I know exists? And a lot of that stuff is great, but like if I have a sound in my head that I want to be real, how the fuck do I make that happen? You know, like how do I find a sample and then manipulate it to sound like the noise that's in my head? And like there's a few sounds I have in mind that I've never found something that really, like there's a noise in my head that's like somewhere between banging on a trash can, like a metal trash can with a metal rod and a gunshot, just like a bang, bang, like kind of a noise, but at a really high pitch. And I haven't figured out how to recreate this noise in 10 years that I've been thinking about it, you know? But I feel like somewhere in the waveforms must be the answer if you simply understand what to do to them. And this only occurred to me because I was reading that big trans music in trans noise music articles, I mean to say. The Leah Tiger's gigantic article about the relationship of trans people and noise music that I read like last Saturday, I guess. And she talked about how the woman who created the soundtracks for Clockwork Orange and The Shining manipulated her own waveforms. And hearing the way she described it, I was like, well, this sounds dope. And like if she was able to do that fast enough that she could produce whole soundtracks while making her own sounds, then that sounds pretty awesome. Just record it from your mouth in Audacity. Oh, don't worry, Yellow Red. I have plenty of albums that were recorded just from my mouth in Audacity from way, way back. But it's stuff like,
I fell in with the wrong crowd, but not gangsters and thugs, just slugs and rake nuts causing ruckus. These fuck ups and hang arounds and bangers all bound for just one cut down, 2 cuts across bleed outs. The readouts on my future all look grim, but my slim chance of making it out is my one route, and hope is all I've got. Where I stand now is where I'll rot. Cause I've done it all wrong. The story of my life has run way too long. Cause I've done it all wrong. The story of my life has run way too long. Cause I've done it all wrong. The story of my life has run way too long. Yeah. That was 10 and a half years ago. Fuck me. My beer got really warm because I left it next to the fan on my computer. I'm glad y'all like that song. I did put that on my best hour of Trial of the Golden Witch album. I think it's the only thing from 2014. Like the date range of the album being 2014 to 2021. Like it would have been like 2016 or something if I didn't put that song in here, I believe. Yeah, there we go. Number 16. Definitely my favorite thing from that time period. Anywho, I got another request. Yadogimi with £2 says, please talk about the corroder from Clock Tower 3. I guess we're going to find out what that is so I can have an opinion about it. Because I ain't never played no Clock Tower.
Albert? Are you here, Albert?
This looks cool.
What are you doing? I told you shouldn't wander around outside by yourself. I came to tell you that dinner's ready. And
This is really well-directed cutscene.
Worried about me. Your old mother may have dicky eyes, but she's not on her last legs yet. You just
Dicky eyes?
Anyway, what is it you're making this time? Some new toy that'll have the local kids agog, I bet.
Actually, I've been busy making this.
Albert.
What a nice thing. I thought
Winter's
this
coming.
was a
I
horror
don't want you
game.
catching cold, wandering around outside. I've been making this in my spare time. How is it? Warm enough?
It's lovely. So warm and soft. Thank you.
Is he gonna snap her
Thank you
neck or
so
something now? Oh shit. Is this guy gonna snap her neck or something? What the hell did he spray him with? Hell yeah, get fucked. Huh. Jesus.
Want to join them? I do the acids lovely.
Well, that ruled. So I guess my opinion of that guy is obviously having a great time. Fun to be around. Although his laugh seemed a little put on, a little fake. Like maybe he's trying to pretend like he's really having a great time, but he's kind of faking it till he makes it, you know? Like he's hoping this is going to be like really cool and make him feel better, but nothing's really ever going to make him feel better, you know? So he just goes around murdering people. But think about how boring those people were, you know? Like they were just sitting there being nice and having a good time or whatever, being pleasant and shit. And that guy came in and he was like, let's get this party fucking turned up. Let's torque this shit. Y'all are not doing anything with yourselves. You're being boring and good. Let's end that. Y'all can go straight to hell. Your story's done. Now I'm going to fuck around and find out. You know, let's get some more shit done. They hired the director of Battle Royale. Amazing. Clock Tower 3 is literally a magical girl story. I'm not making a joke. It's a horror game where you play as a girl with a magic bow, and it's so good. It's Oraluna's favorite combination of surprisingly earnest and very anime, yet also very cinematic and horrifying. How is it that no matter what obscure thing gets played on this channel, you have heard of it, Oraluna? How do you know so many things? Do you just like go out of your way to find everything that's considered a cult classic by anybody? Because that's understandable. I've done things like that. I'm just impressed. It's like every time I mention something specifically for being like as obscure as possible. You're like, by the way, one of my favorites. It's an impressive record you've got of taste. I gotta pee again. Oh, this is Anime Snob's new video about me. I'm not watching that. As we've established, I only watch Anime Snob if I am paid to watch Anime Snob. Otherwise, it is not worth my time because not enough people care about him and our little beef. It's only funny when people care enough to pay me about it. And so if people don't care enough to pay me, I know they don't care enough about it. I don't even know if people are watching his videos to find out if they're funny or not. Right, I haven't added the new that one Lucario. Wait, I thought I did. I thought I did add those to my playlists. I don't see them here though. That could just be YouTube's fault though. Sometimes YouTube really just doesn't fucking update shit. This is the wrong channel. God damn it. I swear I added these new clips. Whatever, they'll be in my subscription feed. Oh, maybe you deleted them already. Oh, okay. You privated them because you're fixing them. Based. Cool. All right. Good. Okay. What should I play, though, while I go take a piss? It's only going to take like 45 seconds. I guess I'll just throw this video I was already watching back on.
So he has the weaknesses of Superman and the strengths of Batman. It just doesn't work. Okay. I think, personally, I think that's on purpose. I think he probably knows that. And I think that's part of the idea. Just throw it out there. And then we have this guest rap by the Mexican OT. So I've been talking a lot about, and I'm not the only person to float this theory out there. I know Lil Bill's on it a lot as well. That all the best like rappers are female rappers right now because a lot of the male rappers are just singing and okay, right? It's a good theory. But like between Sauce Walka and the Mexican OT, the South does have something to say. Texas has something to say because I did not know Mexican OT's work that well. I saw he came out with an album. I listened to it briefly. I stupidly didn't, or I think it was an EP. I stupidly did not review it because I just didn't feel like I had anything to say about it. But he's got the guest verse on the album filled with great guest verses. He's just great. He starts right off. FLA, what the F's the deal? I'm straight out of Texas. We keeping it trill. Got Kill Bill.
I'm going to read the answers Oraluna gave because I like them. Because I love the world. Also, I search for everything that is magical girls because I want to be a magical girl and kiss the mascots. I want to become a magical girl and get to kiss my mascot and then heel turn into a handsome prince. I also search through obscure anime if they have a mascot and pray they will be the love interest. Thank you so much, everyone. I like that. Good speech. I always appreciate when someone understands their own taste. It took me a long time. I have a video from 2015 that was about me not understanding what defines my taste in anime. I'm bouncing around my room, holding up box sets and going well, I like this and that. I like other stuff that's like it in this way, but I also like this and that's not like it at all. And it took many years of kind of revisiting things and then realizing I didn't like them as much as I used to, and then revisiting other things and realizing I like them more or just understand them better. And as I've I feel like I've clarified this, but like it comes down to community. I like shows about community, about like how a group comes together to do something together. I think it's probably because I've got like 30 personalities or something, but they all have to pretend they're one person to work together in unison to get anything done. Because if you have 30 people that are all doing something completely different, but they're all using the same body, that nothing will get done. You know, you got to be able to bring yourself together like a conference that's a permanent conference, always where everyone's always in attendance, making all the decisions together and nobody feels left out. I think that's what this Ev Nassam dude is dealing with. My favorite internet schizo who I follow, this dude. Nobody watches his videos. He's obviously not doing it for an audience. He's doing it for himself. You're getting too old means they're about to try to kill you for still being able to outsmart them. Okay, let's see what that's about.
Bro, listen to me.
He does not seem okay in this video. This is an uncommonly paranoid video.
Fuck, okay. Don't challenge these women, man. No, I'm just kidding. They're easy as fuck. Listen to me.
Okay, never mind. He was acting, I guess. Maybe. It's hard to tell.
Look, what happened is they got mad at me.
Maybe because he turned on the camera and then realized he was being weird, he switched into a normal persona. And that's what stopped him. Like, this is like a defense mechanism from continuing to freak out, is bringing out the part of him that talks to the camera. I can see that.
Still winning all these arguments, so they started making moves not to bitch me, but to get me killed. And by getting me killed, they just started trying to make me like an abusive person, like a horrible person. Tried to push me into being a rapist and all that stuff. Tried to push me into being a creep. And the whole goal was just to kill me off and then say, see, guys like that, that's what they become. And so that means you all tried to kill me just because you didn't want to do the right thing. That's what that means. And you guys think that you can just try to G-cab this and be like, well, what is he saying?
G-cab? Does that mean something? I can't tell if he's talking about real women or women that exist inside of his mind, or if he's talking about women that on the internet, that Greater Cleveland adult baseball. I don't think that's what he was talking about.
Whatever. No. When is he? We need to look into that. Yeah, look into it. You end up finding yourself. All right. Y'all tried to kill me, so I am being nice, but I'm not being stupid. I mean, I'm gonna keep going until y'all are afraid of me, and that's kind of what you deserve. So fuck you. You know what I mean? Yeah. Maybe next time don't try to kill me because you can't win an argument about what this is. I don't know. Maybe then you won't be fucked. Also, and before, like, there's like some girl that starts manifesting as being my future wife.
And before there is some girl that starts manifesting as being my future wife. That's a way to preface your next statement.
Live your life. I don't fucking care. But don't make a goal out of being the easiest woman in the world.
Okay.
Just so you can throw that in my face.
Yeah.
For telling you to stop being a bitch.
Yeah, okay.
Right,
I get what he means. I get what he means. I don't know if I can explain what he means, but I get what he meant by that. At my job, I used to hear this exact kind of talk all the time. What job, Gary? What? Which job had you listen to? Were they talking about real people at your job when they said this kind of stuff? Or were they talking about manifestations appearing inside of their own brain like this guy is? He's also been talking about The Boys a lot. I haven't watched any of his The Boys videos yet because I haven't been watching the new season of The Boys. What was holding me back? All right, let's find out.
I took that shower. So alleviating a lot of the stress. So the thing was, I couldn't just do it because it was going to create like a bunch of immediate insecurities within my justified existence and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And not that it was only gonna create that because people would only see the couple of concepts that you use. You use the idea that you're a kid. You use the idea that you don't know what you're doing is wrong. You use the idea of innocence. You use all these concepts that we're all like designed to protect. Not designed. I fucking hate you. We're all obligated to protect, right? We're all obligated to to
I think it says a lot about him that when he fucks up a word, the way he reacts to it is by saying, wrong word. God, I fucking hate you.
nigga. If it's designed, then I designed it. Shut the fuck up. All right, nigga. All right, so we're all obligated to fucking protect these concepts that you're using, and so it creates this immediate temporary insecurity that I can be attacked for, I can be reduced for, and all that dumb shit. And you ain't doing shit, nigga. I'll kill you. So yeah, but once we get past those couple of concepts and we see the real reason I was doing it, I'll be fine. And all the people that attack me, I'll just get rid of them or some shit, because they already know what's going on. That's what I made sure of.
I just feel like he's got to be in less of a conflict with all of his inner voices. He's just so angry at them. Just get a just a little better relationship with your inner voices. You don't have to fight them all off and call them all dumb, you know? I feel like from his perspective, he's just constantly creating new himselves and murdering them. And then new ones keep springing up, or like there's some that are creating other ones in defiance of him, but just none of them are powerful enough. So he's always just like, nope, you're wrong, done. You're wrong, done. And it's like, okay, but like, you don't have to kill them, do you? Just because you disagree? I know they're trying to kill you, but everybody's trying to kill everybody. You gotta be the first one to say, hey, I won't kill you if you work with me, you know? But it can be difficult because they might not be trustworthy, but you have to extend the olive branch of trust. I don't know, maybe his inner voices are really terrible. It's hard to know. Hard to know what somebody else is dealing with. Congratulations, EVS, on getting funded for whatever you were funding. I guess your Rainbow the Brute action figures. EVS seems to be trying to like reclaim rainbow imagery as manly by creating the gayest comic ever. I don't know. It's a something. I don't entirely know what the gimmick is, but I think he's basically realized that right-wingers are all closet homosexuals, and they're just like, he's figured out how to ride the exact line of like totally embracing all the cool stuff about being gay, but just not being gay about it. And like, that's exactly how to get those people. Like, all you have to do is be as gay as possible and say it's not gay. And you've got the right. You've just got them in your pocket. All right. Well, I'm going to chill until somebody has another request for me. This is Total Request Live. I don't feel particularly compelled to do anything other than answer requests. And had kind of a hard time bringing myself to do a live stream today. I was just feeling kind of out of it. Wasn't really excited to consume random stuff that I didn't know if it would be any good. But at some point, I had done enough fun things in the day that I felt satisfied, ready to take on a gauntlet of potential shit. Maybe get passionate, get a rise, now that I've got some caffeine and some alcohol and some chocolate in my body. I woke up and I was just like, oh, I don't know about today. This one can just end right away, Gary always says above I answer the question of what my job is. Okay, let me go. How far above? Or Luna's clarification that the mascot needs to be able to transform back into a mascot and not just a prince. Nurse in prison, right? He talks like a mental patient on suicide watch. Well, yeah, that sounds right. I think he might be on suicide watch by way of me. I think I might be suicide watch for Everdosam. Not that I could do anything about it if he was going to do it, but I feel like I would be able to tell. Maybe I should figure out if there's somebody in his family I could contact if I was really worried. I don't know. There's probably not somebody in his contact. It's somebody you could contact. Okay, well, I guess I can't go to his whatever this link is because it doesn't work like that. Do I follow your Instagram? No, it's not available. Of course. Why would it be? Why would any of these links work? That would make too much sense. Yeah, I don't know. I'm fascinated by.
While I'm at this, there's this one concept that you guys tried to make happen, but never made sense to me. It was the idea of like our whole lives are planned out, and because you guys said some things, my future wife or whatever is forced to sit next to all the guys that disagree with me, and because we're nice and kind people and we don't want to fucking hurt anybody up until now, that the whole point is if those guys don't fear me and don't do the right thing and choose to fuck her, she won't fight back. And the whole point is it's supposed to be that you guys know better and you know how right I am. But it's also supposed to give you guys a chance to humiliate me if I'm wrong. But the thing is I'm not wrong, and I guarantee you, if that's happening and she's as smart as I am, she's letting you fuck her so I can kill you. That's all it is. I really don't care. And she's not my future wife anymore. That's what this was.
Man, this poor dude, he's just trying to like imagine a good situation for himself, and then the self-doubt in his head convinces him why he shouldn't feel good, and then he has to argue with that self-doubt out loud as an externalized person and be like, yeah, you see, you're trying to make me hate life and kill myself, but as it turns out, I know what you're doing, so fuck you. But he makes like 7 videos like that every day. Like every thought he has, there is a very convincing voice inside of his head telling him, no, you're wrong. Actually, you should just kill yourself. And he's like, no, I'm better than what you think. I can work through this. And he just wants to convince himself that it is possible that he would have a perfect wife, that there is a woman. And I do believe that is possible. I understand what this guy's talking about. There must be a woman out there who could understand what he's talking about and think it's interesting. Maybe want to help. Maybe think he's even helpful. There must be somebody who he could help with his way of thinking. You know? What's up?
The food's going to be ready in a second.
What'd you say?
The food's going to be ready in a second.
I was just wondering how long that was going to take, because this has been a while.
Well, I've been smoking. It takes a while.
I figured you must be smoking it.
How's your stream going?
It's going all right. I made a few dollars here and there, but it's kind of slowed down, and I'm thinking I might end it to go eat.
It's a good idea. You can always stream later.
I could always stream later, although it's 8:30.
Yeah.
Are you okay with me staying up late to stream?
You want to do it? Okay. Just don't be rapping so loud.
Oh, yeah. What? All right, well, I might come back later. I'm going to end it right now and go eat. Lapusha shows up. Wait. Lapusha, you literally, where were you? Where were you until just this very moment? How did you manage to show up when I'm like, hey, I'm literally pressing the stop button? What What are you going to try to pay me to do, Lapucia? I will come back later. It might be better timing for you. I don't know. I don't know what time it is. I have a super hat request. I do have a bag of hats upstairs. If you want me to go get my hats, some of them could be described as super hats. What is your super chat request, Lapucia? You can let me know before you super chat it, and we can determine. Okay, go eat. Okay, I will be back. I will be back. I promise. Not even. I promise I'll take less time than I did earlier today, because it's not that I was live. So yesterday I said I'll be back in like an hour, and then I spent like 5 or 6 hours before I came back because I was making music all day. That's not going to happen this time. Also today, Sketch's response, that'll probably take a while. So we'll get to that when I get back. That does sound funny though. Today I listed this live stream at like 12:45. And then at like 1:30, when I still hadn't launched it yet, I was like, I really want to go eat some candy. I really am craving some candy. I'll schedule this stream for 2:30 and then I'll take Bird to the candy store. So we went to the candy store, but then after we got our candy and we were eating some chocolates, and Bird got this nice little egg looking, what's it called? Those little, like a little chocolate half egg looking thing. Parfait? No. Can't remember what the fuck they're called. He got one that's all gorgeous and shit. And then we got some candy, you get some chocolate bars. Mine was full of caramel. It was quite good. I got a mood bar. They had these like different mood candy bars. The one I got was hopeful. It was good. And then I got a cheer wine, delicious little soda. And then we decided to continue being out. And so we went to several breweries and to IKEA, because I was like, what if we got another big plushie at IKEA? But none of the other big plushies are anywhere near as cute as Blahaj. I literally was like, I would rather get another Blahaj than any of the other plushies. Like, I would rather have a house full of these because he's so fucking adorable. And Bird got a wooden spoon for cooking at the IKEA. Blahaj. And then eventually I got back home, and then we started making dinner. And so we did all the prep work and started cooking before the stream. And then I was like, well, this is going to take a while to actually cook, so I'm going to start the stream. And it took 2 hours for it to cook, but now it's done. So I'm going to go eat. And maybe when I come back, I will either be more or less normal than I was on this stream. It's hard to tell. We'll find out together